Can the mushrooms be eaten raw? He can't take care of that much. Let's fill his stomach first. Can the dirty water be drank directly? He also doesn't care about it. Have a good drink first. This man has been stranded on a small island in the center of Seoul, South Korea, for a whole day. They're surrounded by water. He can't swim. He almost choked to death when he got into the water. There's a bridge overhead, but the piers are vertical, and he can't climb on it. How did he get here? Yesterday he committed suicide by jumping into a river on a nearby bridge, but somehow got washed here. It seems that God don't let him die but want to play him to death. But when he came here, he doesn't want to die. Anyway, he can't go back to the society, he doesn't have to pay back the huge loan, and his mobile phone is flooded, and no one can find him. He starts drilling wood to make fire. He drills for half an hour, gave up, lit a cigarette with a lighter, and go to rest. This island is full of rubbish thrown by unqualified people on the bridge. There is still a lot of waste washed up by the water, and there are still a lot of daily necessities. He even finds an abandoned duckling boat, covers it with hay, and he has a bed, more comfortable than renting a house. But he is worried again. After eating raw mushrooms for a few days, he feels that the taste was weak and want to eat meat. But fishing, catching birds, climbing trees, none of him can do it. As a loser, he really can only eat mushrooms. Until this day he washes his hair with the laundry detergent he picked up by the river. Several fish were poisoned by his laundry detergent and floated up. This night, he finally eat grilled fish. Although it smells like laundry detergent, it is delicious and satisfying, and he don't even care about the fish bone. At night there are birds stealing his leftover fish. The next morning he finds a poisoned bird. There are roasted birds to eat. Although there is no salty taste, he also eats the original taste, and his life is getting more and more comfortable. After a few days, he have adjust to the life on the island and play golf with pine cones. He starts playing aristocratic sports. This day he find an empty bag of jajang noodle in the woods. Looking at the jajang noodles on the packaging bag, he feels a strong desire in his heart. He really want to eat jajang noodles. He dreams of jajang noodles. Wow, the sticky flavor of jajang noodles is full of desire. When he wake up, he decide to make jajang noodles with his own hands. First, he pick plants everywhere. He get a lot of unknown grass and smash them into slag and pour water into it. But there is no way to crumple it up and he has to go back to eating grilled fish. Until this day he take a nap and hear bird droppings on his duckling boat. He has an idea and he put his hand on a piece of bird shit and look at it carefully. If the birds eat the crops, there will be undigested seeds in their shit and he can plant the crops. He immediately began to collect a large pile of bird poop and find a piece of earthworm soil in the middle of the island and cultivated his land there. He began to collect his own excrement every day and pour it into the field to fertilize it. Afraid of birds eating his crops, he makes scarecrows in his old suit. 3 months passed and he has become a senior savage, living a regular life on the island every day. He has been able to skillfully to catch fish, easily climbed up the tree to catch birds' eggs, fry eggs with a pick spatula, even to pick up cans make tea. He collects his own sweat in glass bottles and drips it into grilled fish to add flavor. And his crops have sprouted. He scrung around the island every day to see if anyone threw anything useful down. Until the day he picks up a message in a bottle with just the word hello written on it. He suddenly remembered that he had also written hello on the beach, and that someone had answered his letter. So he changes hello to how are you, and the next day he receive a message in a bottle that said fine thank you and you. These bottles mean that someone was secretly observing his wildling life. One day he find his corn grow a little corn. He is very happy. Unexpectedly, a person suddenly appear on the island this day. He is a delivery boy. The delivery man actually bring him 3 bowls of jajang noodles, original, onion, seafood and snacks. Looks like it is given by that mysterious pen pal. He really knew him well. After thinking about it, he returned the jajang noodles and asks the delivery guy to convey a message that jajang noodles is his hope. If he could get it easily, it would be cheap. The next day he get a letter saying I am sorry. After a few months, his crops are all ripe, cucumbers, corn, edamame, peppers. He breaks off all the corn kernels, grounds them into a powder, and adds water to make noodles. Roll out the noodles with a drift bottle, then cut them into noodles and cook them in a pot. He dug out the jajangmyeon seasoning that have been hidden for a long time and adds various ingredients to the noodles. A bowl of Wild Island Savage noodles is born. Tears flow down his cheeks as he stir and eat it. His wish come true, and he cried while eating. He thinks he'd never accomplish anything in his life, but now he's done a great miracle. At the same time, a girl in the distance photographs the peak of the man's life. She's his pen pal. She hasn't been out of the house for 3 years. Her room is dark and full of rubbish. Her life is very regular. She wakes up at 8 in the morning and eats a can of canned food and walks in place 3,000 times at 9 o'clock. Turn on the computer at 9 o'clock and wait for her mother to go out and go to the toilet. At noon, she eat a pack of instant noodles at noon, then walk 6,000 steps, continue to surf the internet, and go to bed at 9 o'clock in the evening. She goes to bed at 9 every night on a pile of bubble wrap. Her bed is in the closet. Sometimes her mother knocks on the door and asks what she wants to eat. She writes down the food in a text and sends it to her mother. Waiting for mom to leave at the door, he opened the door and reached for it. She has a telephoto camera. During the twice-yearly air defense exercises in Seoul, all vehicles will stop. She will use the lens to observe the world. This is his last curiosity about the outside world. But this time, she finds a man on a deserted island in the camera, and he is committing suicide, and she is so frightened that she collapses in the trash and doesn't dare to look at it again. It is the first time she insomnia that night. In the middle of the night, she finally can't help looking with the camera and find that the man was still alive. She is relieved. From then on, she began to observe this man's life on a desert island every day, watch him dragging a duck boat, watch him write hello on the beach, his hands full of bird droppings, laughing, and smelling the bag of jajangmyeon all day long. After several months of observation, she suddenly have a strong feeling to contact him. Finally the girl muster up the courage to make a drift bottle and write hello. She sneak out late at night while her parents were asleep, came to the bridge, and throw the drift bottle on the island. After waiting for 3 months, the man find the drift bottle and write back to her, "How are you?" She is so happy, she sleep with a smile on her face, keep slipping out the door, and keep replying to messages. The two begin space dialogue. She also stay outside longer and longer, and she also notices the beautiful life. Because she know that the man want to eat jajangmyeon, she call a delivery boy to bring in jajangmyeon to eat this day, but he return it unexpectedly. The man tell her that jajangmyeon is his hope, and he doesn't want to get it easily. She hasn't heard the word hope for a long time. The next day, she opened the door after a long absence and talked to her mother, asking her to help her get some corn seeds. Since then, she has been planting corn with the man. His seeds mature first, harvest corn, made noodles, and ate jajangmyeon. Seeing him so happy that she cried, she feel the same way. She isn't in the closet tonight and starts sleeping in the moonlight. She become more and more cheerful until the day when the man write, "Who are you?" on the beach. He want to meet her, but it scares the girl because she has been lonely and hidden for so long. She doesn't write back to him. The next day, the man looks around the island for her rafting bottle, but can't find it, and write why on the beach. She is very unhappy when she sees it and decide to ignore him. One night a few days later, a typhoon hit Seoul, and the man on the island bore the brunt. He wants to save his field, but the field is ruined. The river come up and take his duckling boat. He doesn't even have a bed. The next day, the girl can't help caring about her again. She is sad when she saw him lost through the camera. Just then, a group of island cleaning staff appear on the island. They find the man and they want the man to leave the island, and he wouldn't. After a chase, the man is surrounded by staff and arrested. He cry out and beg for mercy, but the staff don't listen to his pleading and force him to put on his old clothes and take him away. Looking at the desperate face of the man, the girl suddenly feels that she have to save him. With love in her heart, she no longer fears. She opens the door and rush outside, galloping like a free white horse. On the other side, the man is thrown to the side of the road. Alone on the island, he's a king. In human society, he's a down-and-out tramp. He looks at the building where he once wanted to kill himself. So he take a bus and go there again, take out his wallet from a long time ago, swipes it at the card machine, and the card is successful. The girl is still running and seeing the bottle and the slippers on the floor until she hear a passerby say there is a strange homeless man at the bus stop, and she chases after, but the bus has already left. She can't catch up, she can only cry and stop, she can't save him, and no one can save herself. She go back crying. Suddenly, the air defense siren goes off. At this time, during the biannual air defense exercise, all vehicles must stop during the exercise. She looks back, smiles, and run in his direction again. Finally she catch up with the car, found him in tears among the stunned passengers, and she walks over gently and speaks to him. She introduces herself in English and asks him, "Who are you?" As soon as he heard this, the man know that she is his pen pal. Looking at her, he smiles. Everyone has an island in their hearts. Sometimes they are stuffed with garbage, sometimes they are hit by storms. But if you grow flowers on the island, someday angels will take care of you. What do you guys think of this film? I want to hear your opinion in the comment area. If you like it, remember to like it.